All right, let's go ahead and dive in here. So all that I want to go over today is pinging off of our last video where we're talking about macronutrients. We're talking about the composition of the foods that we're eating and which category they break down into based on what they are most of. So again, animal proteins, majority protein, less carbs, less fat. Carbs, more carbs, less fat, less protein. Fats, more fats, less carbs, less protein. Okay, pretty simplistic. But the next question usually becomes, okay, but how do I know how many calories all this is? So a good rule of thumb is realistically that all carbs, right, all grams of carbs are 4 cal, okay? All grams of protein, same thing, 4 cal. And then all grams of fats are 9 cal. So all that you're going to do, if you have a food, let's say this hypothetical food is 20 G protein, 9 G fat, 12 G carb. Okay, so literally what you're going to do is you're going to take the 20 and you're going to multiply that 20, okay, by 4. You're going to multiply that 9, right, by 9, and then you're going to multiply that 12 by 4. So 20 times 4 is 80, okay? 9 times 9 is 81. 12 times 4 is 48. Okay, so if we go 80 plus 81 plus 48, we're going to get 9. Okay, 8 and 8 is 16 plus 4 is 20. So we're going to get 209 calories, okay? 209 calories for that food. That should be pretty simple. All that you need to know is that on the back, there's going to be sometimes when food labels say net carbs, okay? Don't worry about that shit, okay? Do not worry about that. Look at overall caloric intake based on the amount of grams per macronutrient breakdown. Now, good rule of thumb is going to be that any 1 pound of lean animal protein is going to be about 85 to 90 grams of protein. People say 100 grams. I would just assume that it's going to be about 80 grams, about 80 to 85, maybe 90 grams of protein for 1 lean pound that you buy at the store. Okay, and again, look, we're just looking at 4 cals, and 9 cals. Okay, so another execution, something that has 20 grams of protein, 4 cals, it's going to be 80, 9 that's 81, 12 times 4, that's 48. So that's where we're at there. Let's say something else has, I don't know, it has, 9 grams protein, right? Has 9 grams protein. It has 24 grams fat, okay? And it has 6 grams carbs, okay? So let's say that was the issue. So we're going to go 9 times 4, right? We're going to go 24 times 9, and we're going to go 6 times 4 there. So on the carbs, that's 24 calories from carbs. On the fat, it's going to be 1836, 18, 19, 20, 21, 216 calories of fat. So you're going to go 24 times 9. 9 times 4 is what? 36. 9 times 2 is 18. Yeah, that's right. So that's 36. Then 9 times 2 is 18 plus 3, 21. And then on the protein side, we're going to go 9 times 4, which is 18, 36 again. So that's going to be there. Then we're going to go 216, okay, plus 36 plus 24, 16, carry the 1, 1, 2, okay, 2 plus 5, 7, so 276 calories from something that is 9 grams of protein, 24 grams of fat, 6 grams of carbs. Now, you only need to know this because you need to understand what the hell you're eating, okay, and you need to understand that labels, they will do some funny marketing things to list the amount of carbs on the front or list the amount of proteins or fats on the front that are not they're not conducive to actually measuring legitimate caloric intake. So if you can just go rule of thumb, 4 cal, 9 cal, you're going to be in a better position to have a total understanding of what you take in. Okay, we'll go into on another video on why labels are usually incorrect, and it has more to do with them just calculating these. So when you see that something has X amount of carbs, you don't need to look at net carbs, right? Because it's carbs net fiber. So carbs minus fiber, overall carbs minus fiber is going to be your net carbs. We don't need to do all that. Just look at your carbs, your proteins, and fats, and do the multiplication so you have an understanding there. And then also understand that like your overall intake is going to come down to what's going to put you, let's say you're trying to lose fat, right? So we got strength training down, we got steps down. We're just trying to put ourselves in a position where we intake less than we expend. The fastest way to understand that is to not get fancy with formulas and this, that, and the other bullshit. Literally 4 and 4 and 9. Okay, one more example and then we'll cut this because I think that this is basic multiplication, right? Basic. And I think you should be able to do this if you're watching this video. I don't want to insult you, but I do want to take, something else. And let's look at something that would be more considered a fat, similar to his last food, right? Very high in fat, this last food that we were looking at. So let's go something that's, I don't know. We'll go over here. This is going to be, 25 grams protein, okay? This food is 25 grams protein, it's 12 grams fat, and it's 24 grams of carbs, okay? So 25 times 4 is 100. 12 times 9 is 108. 12 times 9 equals 108. I can't speak today. And then 24 times 4, okay, we do that multiplication out. It's going to be 16, 8, 9, 96 equals 96. So then 100, holy shit, 100, hold on, I got to do this math now. 18, 10, so 108. Okay, that's 108. All right, so 100 plus 108 plus 96, right? What is that going to be? That's going to be 14, carry the 1, so 0, 1. That's going to be 304 calories. So again, carbs are 4 calories per gram of carbs. Protein is 4 calories per gram of protein. And fats are 9 calories per gram of fat. That's all you need to know. Don't worry about net carbs. Don't worry about keto. Don't worry about vegan. Don't worry about gluten-free. Don't worry about all the other greenwashing that goes on foods. For now, just start with understanding the caloric makeup of each macronutrient and then the composition of the foods, the meals that you're having based on those macronutrients. Now, it can get a little crazy, right? When you start having pre-prep stuff and you start having a lot of ultra processed, meaning that it's not only processed ingredients, but then it's flash frozen, it's meals that are in the freezer section, what have you, that are fortified. Like, I don't want to get crazy, right? We don't need to demonize any foods, but just have an understanding that like these macros go a little crazy when you do have things that are, less whole food based, right? And more fortified and pumped full of stuff. Now, another thing that's fortified is protein powder. There's a lot of protein powders that have vitamins and minerals fortified in them, similar to cereal. When you look at what the FDA, I think it was the FDA that released this, but they released, foods that are best for you. A lot of the foods that you're like, James, how the hell could that be a thing, that cereal is higher than red meat? The reason they're doing that is they're looking at parameters for judging the foods to be better based on the vitamins, the micronutrients, vitamins and minerals that make up the foods as well. And so you can get away with saying that cereal is better than red meat if you fortify the cereal with literally every single vitamin that you can think of, right? And it's basically a multivitamin in a damn cereal bowl. So all of that considered, again, just 4 calories, 9 calories, very simple, very easy to calculate. Now, much harder when you eat out. That is why I would go big portion of protein, tons of leafy and green veggies, less starchy carbs, right? So less rice, less potatoes when you're eating out, and then just skip the fat because every restaurant cooks in fat. You can always ask to grill, bake, or steam. When you're at home, this is much easier to do. When you're out, just do the best that you can. You should now know how to calculate the amount of food that you're eating, and this should give you a good place to start to establish next steps for activity and to know if you're in a deficit or you're in a surplus. Hope that helps. Peace.